Hello, and welcome to the Auron software channel. This video is a guide to getting started with the Auron SMS Server. The Auron SMS Server is a Windows Server application that helps you integrate and build instant messaging and email solutions. Find out more about the Auron SMS Server by following the links in the description below. In this video we'll walk through the most important parts of the software, to give you an impression of everything that's possible. We've split this video into chapters so you can easily find any information you need. First, if you haven't already done so, download the latest version of the Auron SMS Server from the Auron website. Follow the link in the description to find a video that details how to set up and configure the SMS server. Before we start, it helps to know about the following concepts that are central to the SMS server. Channels. Channels are how the SMS server integrates with providers, or how the SMS server can provide a service. Before you can send or receive messages, you'll need to set up a channel. Triggers. Triggers provide a way to automate the SMS server. Campaigns. Use campaigns to send bulk messages. Routing and blocking. Routing and blocking rules affect how, and if, outgoing messages are sent. The SMS server has the following main parts: the service, the manager, and, optionally, the web messenger. The service runs in the background and does all of the work. The manager is a front end to help you configure the service, browse messages and view service activity. The web messenger is an optional web interface to send and receive through SMS server channels from your browser. We're currently in the SMS server manager. Use the tree view to navigate to the main configuration items. The activity view shows what the service is doing at any given time. Let's have a closer look at channels in the SMS server. To open the channels view, click on Channels in the configuration part of the left tree view. Here, you can enable, disable or edit any of the existing channels. The green icons indicate the online status of each channel. Add a new channel by clicking on New Channel. This brings up a list of all possible channel types. Click on any of these to start the configuration of a new channel. New releases of the Auron SMS server regularly add new channel types. Find a link in the description below to the current list of available channel types. Edit a channel by clicking on the Edit button. This pops up the channel wizard and you can browse through the settings. Click on Finish to save your changes and have the channel automatically reload its settings. Let's leave the channels and have a look at triggers. To open the Triggers view, click on Triggers in the left tree view. Here, you can enable, disable or edit any of the existing triggers. A trigger runs when a message of the given message type reaches a given status and the message matches the given condition. The order of processing matters when there are multiple triggers for the same status and with an overlapping condition. If a trigger is final, then this means that no subsequent triggers are run for this message. Add a new trigger by clicking on New Trigger. This brings up a list with trigger templates. Trigger templates are ready-made trigger scripts that cover common scenarios, such as automatic reply, automatic forward, and retry or failover triggers. Click on any of these to start the configuration of a new trigger. This generates a trigger definition and script that can be left as is, or be completely customized after generation. New releases of the Auron SMS server regularly add new trigger templates. Find a link in the description below to the current list of available trigger templates. You can edit a trigger by clicking on the Edit button. This pops up the trigger definition window. The first tab defines the trigger ID, description and condition. The second tab defines which script should run. Click on OK to save your changes and have the SMS server automatically reload the trigger configuration. Before we start sending messages, there are two other important configuration items to be aware of. Routing and blocking. Open the routing view by clicking on Routing in the configuration part of the left tree view. Routing rules define which channel an outgoing message is going to use if it isn't explicitly assigned a channel. A routing rule goes for a message type that matches the specified condition. The condition is a SQL expression and can use any field of the message or any other table in the database. For every message, the first route that matches is applied. In this case, we define three simple routing rules. Every SMS that doesn't start with +31 is routed through our GSM channel. Every other SMS goes through our SMPP channel. The default rule, which in this case is never reached, would round robin all SMS message over every SMS channel in turn. Find out more about routing and how to build SQL expressions by following the link in the description below. Open the blocking view by clicking on blocking in the configuration part of the left tree view. With blocking rules you can prevent messages from sending. A blocking rule goes for a message type that matches the specified condition. Just like with routing rules and triggers, the blocking condition is a SQL expression and can use any field of the message or any other table in the database. In this case we define two blocking rules. Every SMS message that has an address that exists in the unsubscribed table. Every email that has an address that exists in the unsubscribed table. This way, if we add a new record to the unsubscribed table they'll no longer receive any message. We can of course use a trigger to automatically add an address to the unsubscribed table if they send stop or unsubscribe. Now that we've reviewed most of the configuration options we can start sending some test messages. To send a test message, navigate to any of the message views. For instance, click on All, in the Messages part of the left tree view. This view shows the last 500 messages of any message type in the system. Currently there are no messages to view. Right-click in the view to select New Message. This window shows the message types that are supported by your current channel configuration. Select SMS to send a test SMS message. This window is intended for sending test SMS messages. You'll be able to set almost all parameters that any of the SMS sending protocols support. Note that you can also create incoming messages. This is a convenient way to test your triggers. To send a test message, just make sure that the right outgoing channel is selected and enter your test phone number and a test message. Click on OK to send. Please note that the channel ID can also be any channel. This way you're also testing the routing rules. Look at the message status to verify that the message was sent. Double-click on the message to review the message trace and find out if all expected routing rules and triggers have been applied. Right-click on a message if you want to resend or reprocess the message. From this menu you can also edit the message before resending it, or change any status part of the message to test your triggers. If you've verified that your outgoing channels are working, you may want to start sending messages in bulk. The first way to send out a bulk mailing is by right-clicking in any message view and selecting the New Messages, Bulk, option. This starts the bulk wizard which will guide you through creating an ad hoc mailing from any data source. The other way is to use campaigns. Click on Campaigns in the left tree view to view your campaigns. You can create a new campaign by clicking on New Campaign or edit existing campaigns by clicking on the Edit button. Run an existing campaign by clicking on the green Play button. This opens a preview of the messages as they will be sent. Click on Next and Yes to start sending these messages. Click on Finish to close the campaign. Click on the All SMS view in the Messages part of the left tree view to review the messages we've just sent. They have all been sent OK. Another way to send messages is from your browser, using the Auron web messenger. The web messenger is an optional component that's included with the Auron setup. You can use it to send and receive messages through the SMS server channels, from anywhere in your company. Start it on the server by opening a browser window and navigating to your local host. You'll find a WhatsApp-like message interface showing recent messages from all channels. We'll send a new message through the web messenger. Enter a phone number, or email if you want to send an email, and message text and click on Send. The web messenger is installed with full source code. So it's very easy to expand should you need more functionality that's specific to your company. Let's close the web messenger for now. Now that we're able to configure the SMS server and we know how to send messages, let's have a closer look at which integration options are available. First are the no-code integration options. A no-code integration uses the built-in channels, such as the file channel or the email channels. Combine them with auto-forward triggers to create a basic integration. You can set up more advanced integration options by using one of the integration APIs available, the HTTP REST API, the local API and a direct database integration. We'll discuss the integration APIs in reverse order. A direct database integration is very straightforward. To send an SMS, simply create a new record into a view called Insert SMS. Use the Insert Email view for sending emails. You can select from these views to find out if there are any new messages available. Find a link to a detailed description of this in the description below. The local API refers to the API that's used in trigger scripts. You can use this API outside of the SMS server as well. For instance, to automatically run a campaign from the Windows Task Scheduler. You can use the local API from C#, VB.NET, PowerShell, VB Script, PHP and most other languages. You can find a lot of working examples on how to use the API in the SMS Server Manager. Just click Open API Examples in the tree view and navigate to Local API Examples. Open any of these examples by right-clicking on the folder and selecting Explore. This shows the list of examples that are available for that given programming language. Close this Explorer window for now. The HTTP REST API is a very easy-to-use API that can use both JSON and XML. To enable this API, you have to create the HTTP REST API channel first. You can use this API from any programming language that can make HTTP calls. It's a great way to use the SMS server directly from your website. You can find the HTTP examples by clicking on HTTP API Examples. Open any of these examples by right-clicking on the folder and selecting Explore. This shows the list of examples that are available for that given programming language. We'll close this Explorer window for now. This concludes our Getting Started guide to the Auron SMS Server. Try it for yourself by downloading the trial version from the Auron software website.